Live. Good morning, guys. A great morning to all who tuned in to the morning live with the Critic. Today, again, second day, where there's not much good news in this beautiful country of ours. You would expect a developing nation that is growing fast, the news would be one to aspire you. Unfortunately, that is not the case today. The truth is, every once in a while, that is the way in the world, in the best places in the world, has stories of disaster, misfortune, and otherwise. What is the case in our country? It is a little too many times that this is the story that we come up with, right? So this morning, 2 persons lost their lives in a BERBICE crash up, and it is said that the cars were racing. 2 cars were racing. One of the cars crashed into a truck, and 2 young men did not make it. That's the reports I'm receiving. When I have details of such, I will go into more. The center of my discussion this morning and what I want to talk about, because it touches close to home for me, very, very unfortunate, is the incident that happened yesterday where an animal rights activist took her own life. Very, very, very unfortunate situation. Right? Let me just get... And this here is the scene yesterday from drone footage that we had, we acquired when we were at the scene. And we were seeing there, this is the Breakdown police station, the entrance to the Breakdown police station. And I'll go through in detail what the scene was like, what the situation was like. I will go through in detail. But what moreover I want to discuss is... what I really want to discuss, and please share this live. If you just come on this morning, share the live. As you come on, share the live. Because this relates to a lot of people. It might relate to you personally. It might relate to the caregivers for persons suffering with depression. It might relate to family members of persons suffering with depression. And this is an opportunity, in light of the fact that this is where the spotlight is right now. Here is where the spotlight is right now. What happened yesterday is where the spotlight is. The discussion of depression should be now. Should be when it's most in people's minds, then we should have that discussion. And there are a lot of people that suffer with depression for a number of different reasons. Nonetheless, this is not something that anybody asks for. That is what has to be taken into consideration. There's a lot being said, and we will have the sister of the victim on this morning to bring some clarity, to give us a little background into our sister, the now deceased individual, and have a better understanding of who she was, what she really, what was her life like. And I can tell you, this is somebody I know personally. And remember the other day the other night we were looking for a vet for Scarlett. Well, the next day, I actually took Scarlett to the clinic that this individual who took her own life yesterday works at. And when Paul was walking in, she was going into the vehicle that she normally drives and operates, because she drives around a vehicle that would help in the moving of animals or carrying vet to a location that animals need assistance. So this individual, unlike most of us... Hello, good morning.
Mr. Critic, morning, sir.
How can I help you, brother?
A question and probably a statement as well. I don't know how to structure it.
Is it related to what we're speaking about this morning?
I don't know who we're speaking about.
We're speaking about the incident yesterday where the woman took her own life.
No, this was a separate.
Well, I have no interest in speaking about anything else at this point in time.
When I could call you back on this issue.
Maybe in the next half an hour, we'll wrap up this part of the program. You want to give me a heads up as to what it is we're talking about?
It's in regards to like going to major company supported stuff and not getting revenue stamps on your receipt. That was just it.
Okay. Let me talk about that next. Let me do a whole episode on that next day. I can talk about it quick right now though.
Alright.
Now when you give somebody a receipt, you have to give revenue stamps. You would be, and you ask for the revenue stamps also. The guy is calling about companies not giving revenue stamps. It's $1 for every $1,000. If you spend $100,000, the company that you purchase the item from has to give you $100 revenue stamp. Right? In the event that that is not done, they're taking revenues from the coffers, which means it comes from you. Right? So just for you to have an understanding of and we will go into more detail, in-depth understanding of who this woman was. I will go through in detail, but what? With her sister, right? No, because her sister wants to bring some clarity to what was being said in the news yesterday. Actually, all is not factual. So, if you're tuned in, please share the live. Please share the live. Very important to note, a lot of people around us, a lot of people who might be your family suffer from depression. Now what happens, the old ways of Guyanese doesn't allow for people to be open about mental illness. Because it's a funny thing, it's a joke. You're mad. Like, you mad. It's a normal thing. Right? It seems funny. Today, you realize it's not funny. Because this woman was married for 25 years. And even before her marriage, she was fighting with depression. Even from being a teenager, the age, even in her teens, she was fighting with depression. So this is a lifelong situation. Nobody knows. Everybody draw the conclusion. I see my friend, the conspiracy theorist, Zaire, come up with what, this, that, whole sort of thing. Well, he like conspiracy. So he just create these elaborate stories. You understand? I tell you, we do a horror movie thing. You understand? Because horror movies, you could say anything you want to say, any bullshit. Right? But these are serious issues. People are affected. Bill passed, no revenue stamp for retail. Okay, I didn't know that. I was not aware of that. I gotta verify that. Yeah. So, one has to know that in someone being depressed or dealing with depression, that individual has a very good understanding that something is wrong with them. What they don't have is control over what is wrong with them. And that is what you have to know. You, the individual over there, out there, around there, wherever you are, once you're in the environment, and it has to do with how you treat people. Now, people could become depressed in an organization. People could become depressed in a family. Mothers become depressed after losing children. There are some cases where depression is at the extreme end. And I can tell you, the greatest help to depression is not the medication that is used. The greatest help to depression is the people around understanding and being very facilitative. Because if you understand, you realize somebody calls that person, have you taken your medication? How are you doing? Tell me what's going on with you. When somebody suffers from depression, if you are not a mental health expert, you should not give advice. The way to deal with that person is not to talk them down, put them down, cuss them out. You understand? The way to deal with them, me obviously do not have that ability or possess the capacity to deal with people like that. Because me got my own issue. So me keep far. If you know you don't know what to do, keep your fudging distance. If you can't be of help, keep your fudging distance. You understand? These are very, very delicate situations. Now the country is not falling apart. Right? The country is not falling apart. Our people are not falling apart. We will transform. That is what this discussion is about this morning. We will transform. We will overcome. Guyana is going places. I'm hoping the public health system takes more consideration and expand as it relates to mental health issues. Right? So, Critic, yes, Critic, love, caring, and outing change their thoughts. Good morning, everyone. Shanita, a good morning, a good, great morning. And then people need somebody to talk to. People need somebody to talk to. Now, this has been a lifelong situation. And some people accuse the husband, wrongfully so, of having an affair and moving out with another woman. In this case, this is a husband who has lived all his life with this woman in her depressed state. And I am told was the only person that could have calmed her. So at some point in time, in 25 years, he drew the line. He was not able to cope with it anymore. He left the home, and that triggered her state. Right? Now some will blame the husband and said, yes, you know. I spoke to someone who blamed the husband and said, yes, he knows how to deal with it. But compare that husband to me. A man who's not willing to go in a relationship because he even want to wake up in the morning and nobody talk nothing. You imagine dealing with somebody who's been fighting with depression their whole life. You gotta give brother respect. This is 25 years we're talking about. You compare that man to me. I am not willing to facilitate any relationship that anybody has any idea. Tag me in, me ain't able. I ain't able. You wake up in the morning, yes sir. Very sad. People should not be pointing fingers at this time. Yes, it's very unfortunate. Now, yeah, I tell you, me wake up in the morning, me want to hear nobody talking, you know. The dog like, oh God, this is my table. Me, that's why I don't have nobody in my house. Me want nobody wrong here. I can't deal with it. I got my own issues to deal with. I got y'all to deal with. And y'all ain't easy. Every single 60 seconds, something comes in my phone. That click we hear in there is the messages as they come in. In me WhatsApp messages. Beep, 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 beep. This we hear in there. You understand? There's different messages all the time. With different issues. I am just differently made up. And I realized before there's confrontation, you understand? Fortunately for me, I grew up as an only child. I'm an only child. It's me alone grew up. I know play by myself, yes, and now with myself. Because them gonna take it out of context. Right? Play by myself. And I happy. So I'm looking for peace. I really yearn peace. You understand? I love peace more than anything else. I love being around people. But when I get fed up, I draw the line and I want to be out of here. You understand? Me don't want no confrontation, no talk. First thing, let me fix it here. You want to piss me off? Tell me something about fixing me here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This Critic?
Speaking, sir. How can I help you?
Oh, I just want to find out when the farmers market will come up in Canada.
You keep track, you follow the Ministry of Agriculture's page, and they constantly be posting information up there. Right? And it is important, since you're asking me that, one of the things is very important for success is keeping yourself informed. Always look at the papers, see what's going on, listen to the news, so you always be in the know. I know a lot of times they're always busy as farmers, and you're there taken up in the thing and so on. But even if you don't know for read, get your wife for read it for you, or your daughter for read it for you. While she reading the story from the papers, you getting and understand if she taking an education in school. You understand? Because next thing you planting rice and she picking rice out of the newspaper. Right?
What you say all that for, man? All that for what?
Me try to educate you as how to be informed. You see what I'm telling you? The uneducated call me. I educate. What me tell you all of that for? You understand the problem in this country? He called me and asked me when is the farmers market. Now I realize if a person wholly and solely is depending on me alone, I sometimes don't know when is the farmer market. Maybe I'm in Barbados, maybe I'm in Trinidad, maybe I'm somewhere. But if you constantly seek information and try to process that information, if you don't know, obviously now he's saying, you know, by just the virtue of he not understanding what I'm saying, he is so smart. And we gotta accept them. We just pick up things fast, right? We can respect them. We could call me quick drama gram, me a pick up thing. I'm saying now, brother, in the whole process of yearning and seeking information, you read the paper, you come. If you don't know to read the paper, ask your daughter. And if she there, Abawa Salawa, is 2 we planting rice? 1 we planting and 1 we picking. Hear what I'm telling you? There's a reason why I and only I am the Guyanese critic. There's a reason why I and only I hold that portfolio of being the Guyanese critic, the realest thing coming out of Guyana. Because it's only I and I have the background to see and understand what is going on. And I too am subject to learning. People don't understand this thing. Always yearn information. Look to know. Get to understand what is going on. Right? Very, very important. Why you tell me don't know why I tell you, uncle? Since you asked me the question, me know what I want. Don't take it as an insult. Follow the Ministry of Agriculture's page. Do you know, did you know that the president plans to spend some $175 million US on black belly sheep in a deal that he plans to do with Barbados? Did you know that? Well, if you didn't know, now you know. One has to ask oneself, how do I capitalize on that? And do you know, in the event that that program materializes, because the president said it, I believe it would materialize. But it has to be put into motion. In the event that that materializes, do you know which ministry will be taking care of that? The Ministry of Agriculture. You understand? He is calling to ask nonsense. Go and read and educate yourself. No, Sharon, not necessarily nonsense. He's asking a valid question. He needs information. But I want to impart some knowledge with him that when he leaves this forum, he could say that, yes, I learn and I understand. It's continuum. You don't just, a man gets a sentence, you put a full stop. You understand? You teach him how to start the new paragraph or the new sentence if enough is not in that paragraph. You understand? It's a simple thing. You see what most people think, like, me head no good. I think like the Attorney General think me head no good. Anil Nandalal, me call his name. Tell him me call his name. Like he think me head no good. You understand? Just thinking about it, most people think me head no good. Like me stupid. You don't get this far if you're stupid. Don't be deceived by the methods in my madness. You understand? Alright. So, good morning, brother.
Good morning, my brother. How are you this morning?
No complaints. On a roll.
Well, you got enough from complaining to make hope.
What's this?
I noticed just now you mentioned the president is about to invest some money in blackberry sheep. The president has already invested money in donating, what they call grant, I call it donate, to public citizen chickens. Normally gives out piglets to farmers to people who do farming with pigs. Likewise, different breeds of cow and so on. My brother, this is my honest opinion, and you know I don't have a water in the mouth. I start straight. The government is doing something wrong.
Please highlight.
In my view, the government is giving these babies chickens to their friends, cronies, family, and supporters. They're giving out piglets to their friends, cronies, family, and supporters. Likewise, all the other livestock that they've brought into this country, and they are giving out for the upliftment of this country. My brother, what the government needs to do is to go to these farmers, people who doing farming, people who serious about farming.
Well, here now, since you're on the topic, obviously you've thought about it and you have seen things. Call some names.
Call some names in what aspect?
Who is the cronies? Who is the friends?
Like, for instance, I'm talking about Region 3.
Region 3.
Region 3. Our president donated a lot of chickens the other day.
And this is taken care of by NARI.
I really can't say what agency, but through the MDC, they can find people who they will assist with these chickens.
Roger that. Call name how you consider that this was given to the government cronies. Who is a government crony in Region 3 that you know?
Crony, like people who supported the government in the election. Those are people who got chickens to put in their pen, 100 chickens.
Roger. So these are people with pens who are...
They don't have pen, they just knock up a little thing and they get chicken.
But are they mining chickens?
It's done. They're done mining chicken. If they got to one crop, they walk, they get the money, they're done with it.
No, but give me one name. You would have seen somebody, you would have heard of somebody. Give me one name, one of these people that...
Brother, I can't give you the people's name, but I can carry you to the houses that get chicken and show you they don't have no chicken anymore.
But they mine the chickens?
They're mining one crop. When the one crop done, they're done with it. They get the money, they're done. I can give you instance in Buxton and up the East Coast, under the Apple AFC government, how much of pig pen they bill. They give people pigs with feed and medication for 1 year.
But is the government program, here now, was the government program focused on people expanding in poultry and it failed? Or was the government program focused on revitalizing the existing poultry industry?
Okay, I really can't say in what aspect they did because I am not in the brain of the government.
Let us get it right. No, but here I am now. First thing, if the program was one that is to see a boost with the existing farmers or the boost of new farmers, we got all they got asked.
What is new farmers?
So obviously they gonna give people who never plant chicken before. Who they go give? How it becomes a crony? And if I come in, like if I come in over by you there, right? Here, let me be factual. If I'm coming over by you, or if I get a run-ins, let me say I get an in with this black belly sheep thing, right? And they ask me to call a few people. Who you think I called in Region 3, brother? I got to call you first. I know you're the main butcher man over there.
Let me give you this aspect of it. Now, if you want to clear out things in an area, you go to the vet. The vet is going to tell you who is a farmer, and they will assist the government in sharing these things.
Brother, here. We got to get we facts straight, and I want to be seen picking up for them. Because I allow you for say, Roger that. You are suggesting the government of Guyana, the custodian of all the lands in Guyana, the people who guide the Ministry of Agriculture in Guyana. God got the private vets for telling them who's the farmer. They knows everything. They lease the lands to the farmers. They are the persons who maintain the drainage and irrigation for the farmers. Them know exactly what is going on.
My brother, I have to have a one-on-one conversation with you and explain.
Well, let me do the first, and then me you go boss the story.
Anytime you want, you can.
Because if you're saying crony,
one-on-one conversation.
if you're saying PPP crony, I want to see Harry Paul. Like how the PNC. Yes, and yes, you show me he.
I can carry you and show you the houses.
Then we also have to ask the Ministry of Agriculture what their intention was. Most likely it's guided by the Ministry of Agriculture.
I call ministers, most of us secretary, and therefore indicate to the minister. I'll get on back to you, sir. Nobody never called back. 5 times ago.
Alright. We're taking away from the discussion this morning. Let me you sit down. You show me them people.
A government that wants to build a country. And this country is my country. This country is not nobody else's country. I want betterment for our country. For you to get betterment in this country, we need to stand by the farmers.
No, but we the individual have to be factual too. I am asking you, what was the government's intention? You said new farmers. The new farmers failed. Tell me the new farmers failed. Don't tell me about the government cronies. Because if you give me chicken, let me tell you, right now we closing down. We selling out the business at pit stop services. It just doesn't make enough money to satisfy me. You understand? It makes money. It makes a great profit, just not enough to satisfy me. I'm closing down that business. What is it to suggest? That we were unsuccessful? You understand? I sell in the business.
Let me you reach out one-on-one.
Roger that. We should have reached long. We should have reached long and talk one-on-one. We got reach long and talk one-on-one before you skin up the government. What was the government plan that they planned for? Get new farmers? So the government got to come behind them, wipe the body and everything else. The mine a set of chicken. They ain't get enough money. They must hook up some farmers who been thieving or doing pirate and that kind of thing. Them man don't realize thieving better than this thing is up. You understand? This work too hard for mine chicken and got to wait 6 weeks. You could go under Stabrook and rob a man now and get the money. Right? So let me get into the serious nitty-gritty of this and mental health issues. Jesus Christ. This banner takes a line for answer phone. So right away into it. Good morning. I have decided not to do the call in. I'm just depending on you to fix the situation. I can't help you out there. I am not in that. You gotta get Sivans. When shit happens, Sivans got a thing that's common and clean shit. Yes, so I based on what I know, I'm going to give you guys, and this is just to give you guys an understanding of what exactly transpired, because there's a number of different stuff. Lee Nan, this has nothing to do with putting down uneducated people. They have to be advised and educated. Right? It's not putting down educated people, it's uneducated. It's showing them different ways and means of developing themselves. It's not putting anybody down. So, just to give you guys an understanding, this is the Brickdam police station. This is the impact. Used to be the impact base, but housed the main parts of the Brickdam operation right now. This is the center. Brickdam, and this is the scene as I saw it yesterday. These are crime scene investigators here around the body of the woman that shot herself with what is a gun, or what is called a stunt gun. It's the same gun that is used, just that it doesn't use the bullet-like projectile, but it uses something that puts down horses, big animals, right? So those are crime scene investigators right there. She ended her life at the door of the Brickdam police. And just to give you an idea, all this area had buildings. Those blocks there, those markings there were buildings, and this is Brickdam here. That is Smythe Street. This is Hatfield Street. Just to give you guys an understanding of what this place looks like, right? And what this place is about, where this place is. Just across the road there, that is the compound of the St. Stanislaus College. And just opposite there, up in the at the top, is the Ministry of Home Affairs. So let's look at this and discuss what really transpired here. Yesterday, animal rights activists attached to the... Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Guidance Critic. How are you today?
No word, how is me, buddy? You're watching the program?
Yeah, man.
Well, just get to the point. How you doing? And what's the issue?
I'm just calling about the guy who just called.
We can't... We got to talk about it later. Y'all taking me out for serious issues. We got to talk about it later. He and y'all can just keep going on and on. You understand? If there's a deficiency in the system, the government hear what the man had to say, they got to go and look at that. Right? I don't think what he said, because I'm asking him serious questions. What was the government's intention? What is the program and so on? So, the discussion this morning is this young lady here, and this is a photograph given to me by one of her family members. I think this is how they would want to remember her. When I went to the Brickdam station yesterday, she was lying at the entrance of, as you see here, she was lying at the entrance of the door, her feet, because there's a, let me just give you guys an in-depth understanding of what transpired here. There's a video showing, very graphic video showing of the scene. Not very nice. I don't think something like that was should be used. And one has to remember, when disseminating information, one has to take into consideration the sensitive nature. Now, we're discussing a scene that arrived from a sad situation. a person who has suffered from depression all their lives now reached a stage where they had to take, or they took their own life. Right? That is an unfortunate situation. And it would be adding injury to insult if one is not delicate in how they put over the information surrounding the incident itself. Like yesterday, well, after taking this footage, the police asked me if I got footage that would be seen as compromising, right? And because of the footage, because of the distance, I'm realizing you're only one, it doesn't go up directly. So you got to watch on a camera on the TV screen, and I got to explain to you what I'm seeing. And even if you zoom in, you might not, you're not going to see it clearly, but I try to show you what's going on, right? So this is the breakdown station, and this is the scene here. And this little red dot you're seeing here is the body. And what happened, this here was when the pandemic was in full swing. You had to spray to go through here. This is the entrance, this is the door. These blue thing are investigators. So this is the door. What occurred is sometime earlier in this month, this young lady lost her mother about a year ago, and was said to have recently lost a brother. She has been going through depression all of her life. So the husband that is being seen as the person who, caused the trigger for this because he left the home. The husband would have been dealing with her issues his whole life. Now, to speak to this individual, I can tell you, let me read a statement that was issued by the organization that she works with. Let me read a statement. Yeah, but wait there. Big market, you come over with the boat. Jump in a taxi with your yeah, shit. Hold on. Give me a couple minutes. I can make arrangements to pick you up. Right? Hold on there for me. Yeah. So I gotta go and pick up Budan. Bear with me, please. Let me just. Yeah, I know he's got things to do, right? So one of the farmers come down from Legwan, he's going to register. There's my friend Budan from Legwan phone number. Please call him and give him directions to get here. Or let him jump in a taxi and give the taxi guy the directions to get here. Right? Lee, come over here right away. Yeah. So what I know of this individual. So there's a short statement by the Guyana Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Now, if one knows Guyanese culture, if one knows Guyanese behavior towards animals, one would know Guyanese is not animal people. Right? One would know that. Like when somebody scared to sleep on bed, and they say, "Boy, you dog to sleep on bed?" I say, yes. We dog is sleep in a bed. We dog is guy AC room. You understand? We went, me and us went by some friends the other day. A friend had a daughter birthday, and we got by she family. And the people got two big rat wild out. So the people said, oh, the dog's upstairs. The dog, here, you don't want to see these things. You don't want to see the size of these dogs. Big Rottweilers upstairs in your house. Because I saw a cat kit, the thing with the cat, the scrape on, and a little like place for the cat go in and climb up and so. So I say, well, the people must follow me, so they know we pet people, right? As is not an animal, banner. So I said, this one, yeah, you got a cat? Lady said, yeah, you want to see the dogs then? I said, yeah. Whereas, what? You got dog up there. So, Guyanese are not animal people. Now, it takes a lot. These kind of individuals. She's not just an animal person. Her job, you understand, is preventing the cruelty to animals. And that takes for a special kind of love and care. To be a vet, or to be in that field, it takes unique people, especially in the context of Guyana. Because you continue to see, you'd see children walking a kick dog, and you got big people, big adults, would be kicking cat out a step, and when I see them body, you want me, you get around, you do them thing now. That's real low life hungry belly behavior. I don't take too lightly to them thing now. You understand? So, this woman worked with the Trudy is her name, by the way. Trudy the Heart, right? So Trudy worked with the Guyana Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Not just you could go there, Scarlett. The other day when I went there, when we carried Scarlett the other day, remember the night of searching? Well, when I got there, Trudy was right there, going in the vehicle, always. Set to be the first person to go to work and the last one to leave. Loved her job. I don't know how long she was there, but loved her job. Right? So in a statement, here is what her employers had to say about her. The Guyana Society for Prevention of the Cruelty to Animals mourns the unfortunate passing of one of its employees, Miss Trudy DeHart. As an animal inspector with the GSPCA, Trudy worked tirelessly to help animals in need. In life, she helped so many people and animals. We remember her in this way, and for all the good that she did, we ask that you respect the memory of a life that made a difference. This is what her employers had to say about her. Investigations by the Guyana Police Force are continuing to determine the circumstances surrounding this tragic event. On behalf of the GSPCA and the Animal Welfare Fraternity, we extend deepest condolences to Trudy's family. We will miss her dearly. Now, nothing but a loving, caring citizen, person, nothing but a loving, caring statement from her employers, by the way, that she took a tool that is used and used it upon herself. And still they had nothing but positive to say about her. They were the closest to her. She worked for them. Who is you to judge her? You understand what I'm saying? No, she took their gun, which she used from time to time to put down animals. She didn't do anything, she didn't have anything illegal in her possession. This is something she used to put down animals that she would do from time to time, that she obviously had to be trained to do. And she used it on herself. Now, obviously, that, would have put the organization little unbalanced. Because people looking at the organization, wow. But nothing they had to say about her was negative. And that is what you have to be cognizant of. When thinking and saying and doing things, one has to be cognizant of what others are doing. Right? So, you would have to say that. You can't tell them one thing, tell me. Now, you guys said it clearly, publicly. You understand? Me can't go and say that. Whoever's out there would have to be left out there unless you rectify it. I ain't gonna do here, say, she said, then you do them saying I going against what they say in the news. What you tell them? You come yourself and say. Alright, so this is the scene. And what transpired is a few days or maybe weeks ago, Trudy's husband left home. Right? The causes of him leaving their matrimonial home is yet to be ascertained. Hi, morning.
Good morning, critics.
Yeah.
I'm Trudy's sister,
Yeah.
and I'm here to rectify a statement that is not correct. The fact
I think you should start with a little bit about your sister, who your sister was, what your sister was like, and then people would have an understanding of where the mistake was made. Or you just want to get the clearance.
I want to make the clearance. Also, I can speak about my sister, who is very loving, very kind, open-hearted, and she cared for a lot. She was very dedicated to her family, that she loved. In any situation, it didn't matter. She was always there. She always gave support.
Now, there was a bit of speculation surrounding why the husband left the home. But what is not speculative, what is a matter of fact, is that Trudy was suffering from depression most of her life. Is that so?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And her husband, and how old was Trudy?
49.
49. So her husband, more than anybody else, would have experienced the effects of her depression.
Yes, he was very loving to her and cared about her a lot. He was always there. He is her rock.
Okay. So recently, he moved out of the home, and that triggered a new episode in her life. Can we say that's correct?
To be honest, because of her condition, it may have caused it. I don't know. I don't want to elaborate where that.
Well, the police in a statement said that she said to her husband, and her husband was right there, by the way, right?
Yes.
So it is not her saying that, oh God, the people with the animals stressing me out. She said clearly before she took her own life, this is what you want, and then she took her own life. Now, what led up to that? During the course of yesterday morning, she was on the road and saw her husband with her car.
Hello?
Yeah. You are breaking up?
Hello?
Let me call you back directly so we never get no break up. So this is the sister, Trudy's sister on the phone, and bringing a bit of clarity for us. Right? So let me call her back.
Hello?
Yes, Emily.
Yes.
Now, in saying that her husband leaving triggered an episode, is not blaming the husband, but it's
No, I would not blame him.
no. I am saying that I'm not blaming the husband, but we are looking at a series of events, and it is clear she was affected greatly by what happened between herself and husband, because in these cases are very delicate and has to be treated likewise. Why? Because they have 2 children. You understand?
Yeah.
The separation of myself and ex, my boys, them mother, has greatly affected my second son. And we are still trying to figure out how to deal with that. He's got to sit down and talk to you and say, buddy, you're a big man now. You got to deal with this. So it has to be clear. Not laying blame. You understand? We then don't want the children thinking that it might have been something they do. Because if you don't bring clarity to it, just like the confusion yesterday. So, tell me, you said that there wasn't some surety on your part as to what really triggered it, right? And you might have said things to certain news agencies that are not true. So let me go into that and get it clarified.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me what it was about and how we did.
The information that was aired, that was a misunderstanding.
What information? We got to be specific.
Yeah, the fact that
It might have been a relationship.
The extramarital affair.
Okay, it might have been a relationship. So it is not.
That is not the case.
Roger, it is not the case.
Not the case. He has never done that, and that was wrong. Definitely, that was wrong.
So
Right? And I need to clear that part up.
okay. So
Right?
for the viewers, this is
her state of depression. I cannot say much more about that, but the situation that I need to clear up is the fact that an extramarital affair, that was not true.
okay. So I'm gonna make it clear here for the viewers. This
Also, I'm a bit annoyed with the fact that they're saying that she was abused. That was never, so he has never done that.
okay. So let me make it clear to the viewers. This is the sister of Trudy DeHart, and she's saying Trudy was never abused by her husband, and he did not leave the home as a result of an extramarital relationship. That so happens to be the information out there in some media houses. Now, Emily, just for clarity and for people to know, because this is very sensitive for media. A lot of times we get information and when we put it out there, people think that the media house gives wrong news. It is a case whereas at the time when you were asked by media houses, you too was misinformed.
Yes, I was.
So the whole and sole issue is not that the news was the information out there, it is wrong, but it's as a result of you being misinformed and tuned giving that information to news entities. Right? Just for clarity.
And at my statement at a point in time, yes.
Roger that. So thank you for coming in and clearing up. And I'll go back to the issue at hand. When we spoke yesterday, Emily, you spoke about your sister from childhood days. Tell me a little bit about how you remember your sister in childhood days.
My sister is a very bubbly person. If a room is damp, trust me, she can light me up. She was always jovial. She never took anything to heart in the sense to carry to a different level. No. She was very thoughtful, very caring, and just bubbly. You know, she made jokes. That's what she was. She was very lively. Very, you know, very loving.
Would you say, Emily, that all that could have been done, because there are a lot of people asking themselves, I am asking myself, could more have been done? And we had a discussion yesterday whether the husband understood or knew. And I told you, when you told me that the husband was her rock, and he knew of her past, and he knew how much she loved him. And I told you, I was not willing now, at the age of 42, to get into a relationship because I don't even want to hear somebody nagging my house. Remember I told you that?
Yes, you did.
Yes. So, do you think all that could have been done was done to help Trudy? Do you think we did? We all, me talking about mental health issues, you being the good caring sister, her husband, do you think that we could go to bed? There are many cases of depression that people have been looked over, people have been driven over the edge. But do you think in this case we could all go to sleep knowing that we really tried our best with Trudy? Can we say that? Or you see areas where someone of us, me, you, the husband, somebody might have lacked in some way?
No, I don't think, I think he gave his best, he did his best. But I can't elaborate further because I do not know everything. Okay? As you mentioned before, cases in which people can tolerate the maximum or whatever the case may be, but everybody has a limit. And I can't elaborate further, or I can't say something that I don't know of completely.
No, but remember, bear in mind, what we're discussing is away from the mistake that is made in the event itself. We are discussing a case of depression. And Trudy was a patient at the psychiatric ward. She was diagnosed as bipolar, right?
That's what they claimed.
Okay. No, but we got subject ourselves at some point in time to the facts. What I am asking, being the sister of somebody who struggled with depression their whole life, it's not always the case, because it would be hard. I knew Trudy, right? Not as a friend, but I go there, and when I go by Auntie Debbie, by the clinic there, you would see her and you see this positive look, and I always thought she was an amazing person, because when you look, I don't question people. There's highly likelihood that people who are caring for animals and all these things to be violent. That's the first thing. So I feel comfortable around animal people. You know? Animal people just by nature are nice. But I'm worrying if there is more. Being her sister, do you think more could have been done in any way, shape or form? Or it is just that we erred, an error was made, and Trudy lost it, and then it became a tragic event. And by the way, this is very much a tragic event for her husband, for her kids. You understand? So it is a tragic event, but I'm not asking you to lay blame anywhere. But basically, could there have been anything more? Because when we identify the problem, you have employers looking at us right now, looking at this program. You have mental health specialists looking at this program. So if there was a problem that you could identify, people will watch and say, oh, well, yes, that is something we could start looking at. How do we revisit these things? Do we do a yearly evaluation, you know? Because life is a learning process. Do you think more could have been done, or the best that was there to offer was done for Trudy?
The best that they was offered was done for Trudy.
Roger that. Thank you. That is what as her sister, nobody more. You understand? Nobody more to say so, because I am telling you, I always saw her as a positive person. And you know, the clinic was in uproar. Everybody was like, what is going on? Because she hid that part of her life. Nobody knew of Trudy's real struggles.
Trudy was suffering from depression.
Huh?
She was suffering from depression.
No, I understand that. But what I mean? She didn't have the outward thing. When she reached out in her working environment and so on, she would be very jovial, you understand? However, she dealt with it. And that is not easy.
Well, she dealt with it. She took the right actions to deal with that part of her life. She went for the help. And she did that part.
All right, Emily. I don't want to pressure you no more with this thing, because at this time, I know it's the loss of your sister, and my condolences to you and your family. And I want to thank you for coming and bringing some clarity to this.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that is the sister of Trudy DeHart. So somebody's saying, no, when you're suffering, let me tell you something. One of my followers called me, I'm not calling him. And me, she's got the road. And she's got issues, she's want to pull me in it. When she started tripping, she's called me. She's tripping on people for me. I say, hey, calm down. Calm, tough, watch it down, girl. Soon as I see she number, I know some uproar she come with. You understand? But I understand her. I don't worry with she. So this is a case, and to give you guys an answer what really tried. You heard from the sister there. Right? There was claims that this is sister talking. What happened yesterday in a statement, the sister told maybe Newsroom and Travis Chase and so on, that, there was some extramarital relationship, and that is as a result of the information she got. Because she didn't see Trudy since the mother's funeral last year. You understand? But imagine dealing with these issues. The sister even told me about an accident that Trudy had when she was about 11 years old, where she had to get 21, so she whole head bust open. And she changed from then. Something changed in her life from then. So this has been a lifelong thing for Trudy. So this was the scene. And what happened? Trudy was driving on the road. Saw her husband with her car. Because he moved out. He left with the car. Whatever the situation would have caused that, he left. So saw her husband with the car came out and lashed the car with an object in a yellow bag. Right? The police statement, an object wrapped in a bag. Now, the husband drove to the Brickdam police station. She maybe drove behind him. He went into the Brickdam station to make a report, and Trudy was invited in. Well, the police said, watch outside. There's somewhere outside here she might have been. Right? Somewhere outside she would have been. So the man said, look, she's out there. She was now invited into the station. She had a black bag. So this is a ground level shot. Trudy's lying there on the ground. Right? So Trudy's lying there on the ground. These are all police investigators. And this is what the Minister of Home Affairs had to say. So the Minister of Home Affairs is a man of very little words. So what he's saying is an unfortunate event and blah, 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 blah. Nothing of relevance. Right? This is Trudy's family. One of Trudy's family members said something after. So at this time, they'd be removing the body. This is a ground view of what transpired. And so let's go back to the detail of exactly what happened. So this would be just to the side here, there's the gate. This is Brickdam. We're on Brickdam here, and you walk in. And Trudy was invited into the station. When she's invited to the station, a woman, her husband is making a report of her damage in the car. So she goes into the station. There is some... Hello? Yeah.
We called it yesterday, right? But you know what happened? We didn't get to up to now. I don't know if you have any contact, anybody we can contact to get a hearing. Like the Minister of Transport is kind involved in this thing.
No, but what are y'all protesting for?
Reason free because of the gas price, gas papers, gas tie, everything gone up.
Yes. But what then will happen when the gas prices go down? Y'all gonna drop the fare? No, but the hire car drivers has been raising prices all the years, and they don't go down back.
For the past few years, right?
Uh-huh.
It's the same thing, everything up to the past everything, but we still look at the same thing. That's all. It's hard to deal with right now.
And does the hire car, quarantine hire car drivers have an association?
We'll link up with the one in our tongue, we both have a car, but they'll be calling the phone and answer the phone.
Ian Andrews you're talking about?
I don't know the guy name.
Okay, well here what is gonna happen. I am going to I'm gonna make some calls and see how I could get some help and we get some sort of resolve to y'all matter.
Thank you very much, brother.
We'll do that. I'll talk to the minister as soon as I come off here.
Okay, buddy, go thank you. So you give us some back?
Yeah. So the hire car drivers. What's going on here, man? What's going on here? The cable tripping just so? Yeah, so to give you a view. So Trudy walks in through here. She's invited in by the police. She walks in through here. There's some bit of a confrontation. And in the midst of that, she stands right there, takes something out of a black bag that is still in a bag, puts it to her head. So like she had it in 2 bags, puts it to her head, right? And then individuals there said they heard a clicking sound and she fell to the ground. Right? So to go back from the aerial view, this happened right about where the corner of the building is and the first individual. So to go back to the aerial view, to give you an understanding of what really transpired. Right? So that is Trudy wearing a blue acid wash jeans and a red top, lying there. And I saw a video with her with the gun still in her hand. I think it would have been her left hand. Somebody sent a video. Let me get WhatsApp images, WhatsApp videos. So somebody sent a video, you know. I collect the video nonetheless, but this is not how I remember people, and me don't really got interest in them. So let me look back at the video. I could give you a description of what I was seeing, because this was Trudy on the ground, her body close up. Okay, yes, I got the video here. Yes, so hold on, stop, and then let me zoom in. Animal cruelty. So Trudy, animal clinic, and she was wearing a red polo type jersey with the back of it saying animal something, right? So this was a regular work day. Although she had her problem over the weekend, she went to work Monday morning. It was on work she was, right? So I moved back. I'm moving back now to get an understanding of what's going on. So Trudy had so she had the gun still strongly gripped in her left hand, because she laid partially face down. Her body was facing northeast. Her foot was northeast, and her head was northwest. Her foot was northwest, and her head was southeast, eastern, right? At this time, her body would have been turned over. The video that I have is of the body when she fell down, and blood gushing from her head. So she lay across her left hand, and this hand was like this, right? So she laying down, and she left hand, and the gun firmly gripped in his hand. So after that, she just fell, you understand? And she's in a position like this. Gun firmly held in this hand here, and her hand is here. And she's laying face, with her face to her right side. So the hand comes across at the bottom of her body, because obviously, whatever she did, and the brain would have stopped functioning, the body just, and she fell in that position. very, very unfortunate. But that is just to give you an understanding of exactly what we're looking at there and what transpired, right? So, as you heard, the sister of Trudy, she would be missed. And as much as a lot of people want to spiral conspiracy around what happened, you've seen what happened as clear as day. And I don't think there's need for any speculation, right? This is a case where Trudy had suffered from depression for a very long time. And the police are going to be doing their investigation. If there's a case whereas, something is not as is being seen or put out there, the police should issue a further statement. An autopsy report will help the police in their investigation. And I know they are going to be doing a proper investigation because it's sad that it happened here. And when I was outside, I said either it's a case whereas two scenarios, right? There was a problem over the weekend, and I was asking myself, was there a problem over the weekend? If you guys could remember, I was talking about that. This here is the hearse, and a little after the body was removed, and that is the scene as investigators did their investigation. I wanna just touch on something. Also, there are two individuals lost their lives this morning, and they said they would have said to be racing again. Y'all done. Y'all not done. Y'all gone done. If you're not done, you're done. Y'all figure it out. If I understand English language, if y'all not done, you're done. Just so y'all know. Right? Hello? Tell me to enter and cut the live. Oh shit. Yeah. In the police station there is no surveillance camera. Is it ironic for a caregiver of pets that bringing a calm effect or persona become a victim? Yeah, sad. Sad. Because she was, yeah, I tell you, right when I around people, you meet somebody who is loving to pets, and so I feel so calming around people like that. Because it takes a unique personality. It takes a real loving person to show that love and care for animals. You guys see the conditions some animals are there. You gotta see the conditions some animals are in, right? So the hire car drivers of the quarantine are protesting, and they're asking for a raise of fare. My thing is, you've got a couple hire car drivers here, and one has to ask oneself, their raise of fare gonna affect thousands of people. It's not my decision to make, but I already tell the government, bring a public transportation system that is balanced. Bring big buses. I hear their plight, but the raise of fare will affect thousands of people. And this is no cause of them or the government. But there's a reality that exists, and there's the fact of cause and effect. We can't avoid that. Because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, fuel prices and the cost of production of everything has gone up. That is a reality. Now, how that is controlled within our country, our government has to decide that. How it affects the people. And in certain cases, look at America, the price of fuel gone up at the pumps. The great America can't do anything about it. The great America run to Venezuela. That they have destroyed, run to Venezuela to try to get oil. To fill that void. They ain't got no solution in the country but to go and buy oil somewhere else. Guyana better start buying oil cheap from Venezuela. If them go and buy oil, what are we doing? We better go over to Venezuela and talk to Venezuela and start buying oil from them. I kid you not. What is going to alleviate all these people's problems? Cheap oil. So I could tell the president, he got my vote in support if you got to go to, because the Americans doing it. If America going for look for cheap oil for drop oil in their country, so be it, Mr. President. Head to Venezuela. Let's go. I go with you. Let me go to Venezuela or send me. Let me go and talk to Maduro and tell his partner, let me do something. You understand? We got people, we have the capacity when it comes to fuel. And so we people in Venezuela bring them ship out in that international water. And we go and buy fuel and bring it in quick. Cheap fuel. Open up the place. You understand? America depend them. Who is we? For follow and get myself caught up in day war and day games. Let they try that. Right? So I'm in all support of the government looking to Venezuela. If America come and tell from there, and Venezuela, they across the border, but we ain't going there. You understand? Me, I really drop a pipeline. Drop a pipeline and bring fuel in the meantime. Right? So you guys take care. I'm hoping the discussion begins as it relates to depression and mental health issues, and positive discussion. No blame games. But how can we as a people do better? How can the media do better? How can mental health experts do better? Mental health professionals? How can families treat the patients differently? Let's start a discussion. Right? And not what we want. How can we do better? Whether you think you've done your best, how can you do more? Because it is a case where help is needed. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Morning Live with the Critic, and looking forward to our next program.